Back-to-work legislation was used, or threatened to be used, several times by Canada's federal government in 2011. One group affected by such legislation was the Canadian Union of Postal Workers. While the president of the Postal Union, Denis Lemelin, was at York University to share his views on the matter, I sat down with him to hear his perspective. You've said that this back-to-work legislation is the worst in Canadian history. What do you mean by that?
Because we were on a strike. It's the employer who put us on lockout, and we were on a strike that the public accept because we are not disturbing the mail. And after that, what they did is really to push forward a legislation which change some of the rules, attack on the wages, less than what the employer offered to us. And after that, they decide, the minister appoint an arbitrator, and this arbitrator has the right to decide between what we call the final offer selection, so what the employer will put on the table and what we will put on the table. So, and we know at the end of it, it's not fair, it's not really in good faith negotiation, because this back-to-work legislation with the condition and criteria will really say, okay, we'll give to the employer what they want.
What was your legal strategy when it came to challenging the back-to-work legislation imposed upon your union?
The first thing we really did, a challenge around the Charter of Right and Freedom, because it's the freedom of association was under attack. And when we're talking about freedom of association, we're talking about the right to negotiate and the right to use the strike. When you negotiate with an employer and the employer doesn't want to really negotiate, you have the recourse to the right to strike. So it's why we decide that now, with this back-to-work legislation, it's like we don't have any right to negotiate and the right to strike.
What future strategies does your union have when it comes to challenging back-to-work legislation?
I think the only way to really fight a back-to-work legislation is that the labor movement and the working class as a whole really fight to really have the right to strike. But for that, we really show to the Harper government that they are on the wrong track, that they really have to adjust. And for that, it's only the mobilization. It's only the workers all together with the community, with the student, with all the coalition group, standing all together and say, we deserve good pension, we deserve good benefit, good wages, and we deserve the right to strike.
Okay. One of the main issues in your dispute was pensions. Do you think that defined benefit pensions are a sustainable model, or is there a better alternative?
I think around the issue of the defined benefit plan about the pension, that's something important, that's something we gain. So the workers are paying in it, but it's part and linked with the market. So for us, it's why we really feel that we have to fight to have really improved the CPP, the Canada Pension Plan. So both of these can work together. And that's one of the big campaign of the Canada Labour Congress now, fighting to really double the CPP. And that's something universal. That's something every worker will access. And people are looking for the pension. The best way to have a pension is that everybody has the same pension, and a pension who can make a good life for the people, and it's the CPP. So we have to link what we call a defined benefit plan with really a good CPP, a good Canada pension plan.